Welcome back. Well, I said I wasn't going to do any more project videos that weren't turnings, but I'm going to make an exception for this one. My sister-in-law is a letter carrier. Has been for, I don't know, 34, 35 years. And she's getting ready to retire in October, this month, end of this month. So since she's a letter carrier, I've got this old P.O. box door, and I'm going to make her a coin bank, commemorative bank. I'm going to have her name and a flowery design etched in the glass, and have a brass plaque made to go on this. But I've already cut these to shape. I'm going to make a U.S. Post Office style drop box. Remember the old big blue boxes? I've made several of these in the past. I've got this cut up and ready to go. I need some more of this stock to go in the bottom, but the door will sit in here like this, and this will have a top on it, probably a door that opens. I haven't finished designing it yet, but that's where I'm going. That's what I'm making this time. So stick with me and see how it turns out. I'm milling this stuff up out of oak flooring. So I just took another couple of pieces. I'm gonna glue them together, making another one of these for the bottom. Then I'll trim it to final size. And this is a long grain to long grain joint, so it'll be just fine. Okay, now I've got these two pieces cut to go into here. I need to start making the pieces to go into here. And I will hand carve those round after I get them glued in, because I'm gonna take pieces like this and I'm gonna put them in here and cut angles on these edges so that they fit, but I'll put it in here and go around, and then I'll have some flats to smooth out, but that's no big deal. Okay, I cut these pieces at an angle so that they would fit in here, and that will give me enough stuff, and I can sand that down and make it round, and then I'll start working on this side over here. I'll show you what I'm gonna do there. So these are glued up. Let them sit overnight. I'll come back in the morning and get back at it. Okay, I've got this piece made. I will glue it in right here. I've got to shape this angle to match this angle, and then I will cut a wide dado in here because the coin hole is going to be right here. And I'm putting a dado in here because I'm going to use this piece for the door that will open this way to reveal the coin slot. And this is where the brass plaque is going to go. So gotta get that all figured out. Okay, I've got all these angles figured out and taken care of. Now I've just got to figure out the door mechanism and how I want to get it to work without making it too weak. So what I'm thinking is, I think I'll use some kind of a, I don't want to use a dowel, I'm going to use some kind of a metal rod and epoxy it to the back of this. Have it go into holes over here, but epoxy it to here so it will swing, and I'll route out a groove in the back of this to hide it as well and make the slot. And I'll be back. Okay, I've got all of the slot pieces, or all of these door and mechanism pieces milled, and I will glue these together, but I need a slot in there. So I'm gonna, before I glue these two pieces up, I'm gonna take this to the router table and I'm gonna route a dado in here. I'll just use the fence to establish this edge and this edge. I'll make me a slot about, an inch and a half wide and probably an 1/8 inch deep. So when I get that done, I'll be back. What I've done is I made a door. I've got a copper hinge basically epoxied into it. This is finished and glued up, and I've channeled this out, and I've been filing away at this to make it nice and smooth and transition. And I routed our slot in here. So this goes in here, this goes here, and this will all get glued in place when everything's all said and done. So there it is. This comes in like this. I'll have a little handle on this, and this will come down and put your coins and bills or whatever in it. This goes here. So now all that's left for me to do is cut this the same width as this, because right now it's about a 32nd of an inch too big. Fine tune these edges to make sure that they fit, and then I will glue this all together once I mark and drill my holes for my screws to hold this in place. And then once I get that done, I'll measure the opening in the back. Got a piece of 1/8 inch glue on to go in there, and then I can get on with the finishing. Okay, this is the dry assembly done. I gotta sand the edges of this door and loosen it up a little bit. You can see the coin slot in here, or the bill slot, whatever you want to, whatever she wants to put in it. And the final shape of this I will do with a big flap sander and my angle grinder when it's all glued together. So I've got the holes marked for the door, so I'm going to pop those and drill them out and find the screws I want to use. Okay, now I'm going to shape the top of this with my angle grinder. And then the fat boy realized it would make more sense to rough trim this on the bandsaw to get rid of the bolt. Okay, I whacked the edges off with the bandsaw, got a fresh wheel on. And that's all it takes. Now I'll sand this smooth, sand these smooth, get this dyed up. Okay, I'll let this glue set up, reapply dye where I need it, like on the back and on the inside of this. And then this is ready for the finish and then putting the door in. That's pretty much it. Done, except for the final applying of dye and finish and installing the door. So tomorrow, I'll take care of the rest of the dye and maybe some finish, and I'll take the door to my glass engraver and get him going on that. I don't remember where I was with this on the videos. It's pretty much complete. The finish is on it. The shape is what it needs to be. The door works. You can see the coin slot. I'm sure I showed you that already. I added this little copper wire handle so that you can open the door. But one thing I know I didn't show you, I had a brass plaque made that shows U.S. Postal Service, the month and year she started with them and the month and year she retired. And I stamped, I don't know if that's showing or not, but I burned my logo in the bottom. So I'm waiting on the glass to get done. I've got it at an engraver and he's working on it. He's putting their name in the glass, and then I will put it in. It's already drilled and marked for the screws for the door. So all I've got to do when I get it back is put this in and this puppy's done. I'll be back then. I got my door back with the engraving on it. Got this all on and ready to go. So now I've got the door in place. Now I'll put the screws in and then this will be done. So there's that one done. Yeah, I know it wasn't a turning, but it was an important piece for obvious reasons. This is for my sister-in-law. And she's worked hard for the post office for 35 years and I think she deserves it. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to post this, but I'll have another project out pretty soon. Stay tuned, come along with us. If you want to support the Missy Studio in any way, you can go to my website and buy merchandise or some of the things that I've made that you see on there. Or you can click my Amazon affiliate link down below and I'll get a small percentage of anything you buy using that link. So I appreciate it. Y'all come back and see us.